Amo Fashion Center is a 3-level regional shopping mall in Torrance, California that opened in 1961. If you've clicked onto this video, then you know what today is. It's Monday, Mall Madness. Every Monday I'll be releasing a new video on a defunct or maybe not so defunct mall and its history. Make sure you stick around to the very end of the videos. I'd like to see if you, the viewer, are paying attention. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and smash that notification bell so you get notified of my latest mall video, defunct store, or my Throwback Thursday videos. Leave a suggestion or a comment for a future video. Thanks. Amo Fashion Center evolved from an amalgamation of several developments on the eastern side of the intersection of Hawthorne Boulevard and Carson Street in Torrance, California. Old-timers in Torrance will tell you that Sam Levy, owner of Levy's department store in the old downtown area, was indirectly responsible for the building of the Amo Center. Levy was approached by Sears Roebuck & Company in the 1950s. Sears wanted to build a store in downtown Torrance, and Levy fought them tooth and nail. Unable to get a lease in their first choice location, Sears moved out to the oil-pumped, riddled, undeveloped area east of Hawthorne Boulevard. Jaime Dalamo joined the president of Broadway Hale Stores and the vice president of Sears Roebuck & Company to announce on March 19, 1957, that a shopping center called Amo would be built at a cost of $40 million. On February 16, 1959, the Broadway opened its store at the Hawthorne and Sepulveda Boulevards, the 9th in the greater Los Angeles, and over the next 2 years, the open-air Amo Shopping Center was built adjacent to it, south of Carson Street. In November of 1960, Silverwoods opened what was also its 9th LA area store. Most of the rest of the center opened in stages in early 1961, with the additional anchors of JCPenney, Sears, and Woolworths. Other stores that opened in 1961 were Lerner's Leeds Shoes, C.H. Baker Shoes, Judy's Sportswear, Helen Morgan Women's Shop, The Men's Shop, Singer Sewing Shop, Mendel Shoes, Varen's Jewelry, and Children's Shoe Store. This was considered the South Side, known as the Amo Shopping Center. In 1966, Bullock's opened at a small open-air shopping center it had developed north of Carson Street called Bullock's Fashion Square. Advertising and editorial in the first years referred to Bullock's Fashion Square in Torrance, not Amo. Bullock's developed several similarly named fashion squares, including ones in Sherman Oaks, La Habra, and Santa Ana. I-Magnin, owned by Bullock's, opened a store on March 6, 1967. Desmond's department store was actually the first anchor to open at the Fashion Square in 1966. In February of 1970, Federated Department Stores entrusted an organization called Transwest Management to manage the property. Transwest sold the Torrance Fashion Square in March of that year to new owners. In 1971, the center was rebaptized the Amo Fashion Square and added a 3.7,177,000 square foot Montgomery ward. A 90,000 square foot ore box, and expanded the I Magnin as well as the UA fourplex theater, which later received 2 larger auditoriums. In 1978, the owners of Del Amo Fashion Square, Glazer, acquired neighboring Del Amo Center. In November of 1981, the 2 formerly separate centers were officially merged in what was called the marriage of the malls to form the Del Amo Fashion Center, with the opening of the concourse over Carson Street. The enclosed concourse connected to a 2-level, 171,000 square foot Los Angeles-based J.W. Robinson, which was being added to the Del Amo Center. Construction commenced on the $20 million project in 1978. The amalgamated mall, christened the Del Amo Fashion Center, was dedicated on November 20, 1981, with 3 million leasable square feet and 355 stores. It was the largest enclosed shopping center in the United States, a distinction held until the dedication of Minnesota's Mall of America in August of 1992. In 1982, Desmond's closed after the company went out of business. In 1987, Orbox was closed and was later reopened as Store Furnishings International in the middle of 1989. In 1989, I Magnin closed at the Del Amo Fashion Center and was replaced with 2 restaurants and the Good Guys. In 1992, Silverwoods closed when the whole company went out of business. In January of 1993, Robinson's closed and reopened as Robinson's May. In November of 1995, Bullock's closed and reopened as Macy's. In November of 1996, the Broadway closed. The former Bullock's became Macy's apparel store, and it reopened in July of 1999 as Macy's Home and Furniture Gallery, its largest standalone home furnishing store in Southern California. The 50,000 square foot ground floor became a Joann's Fabric and Crafts store. Faced with a change in consumer shopping patterns, the consolidation of the department store industry, the existence of too many malls in the area, lack of highway access, and competition from the South Bay Galleria, Del Amo began to suffer. In 2001, Montgomery Ward's closed due to the company going out of business. Around that time, Woolworths also closed as well. At the same time, a 2-level Barnes & Noble bookstore opened at the mall's perimeter. In early 2002, the Mills Corporation acquired Del Amo Fashion Center from Glazer's family for $420 million. In June of 2005, they initiated a $160 million redevelopment, including demolition and redevelopment of the former northeastern wing where Montgomery Ward and Woolworths had been located. On September 9, 2006, Robinson's May closed and converted to a second full-line Macy's West called Macy's South, while Macy's Apparel was renamed Macy's North. By this time, the Del Amo Fashion Center had 3 Macy's in one mall. The new open-air lifestyle center opened on September 14, 2006. It was anchored by a 2-story flagship Forever 21, a Lucky Strike Lanes, and an AMC Theaters 18-screen multiplex to the mall. A Crate & Barrel home furnishing store opened adjacent to the mall in 2007. In 2007, the Mills Corporation was jointly acquired by the Simon Property Group and the Fairland Capital Management. Simon assumed management of the Del Amo Fashion Center at this time. In April of 2008, the mall's website was placed under the simon.com format. The new lifestyle wing was dedicated on September 14, 2006. Inline stores included Cohiba Cigar Lounge, Lazy Dog Cafe, RA Sushi Bar Restaurant, Urban Outfitters, P.F. Chang's, China Bistro, and the Lucky Strike Lanes Bowling Alley. In late 2012, detailed plans to redevelop Del Amo on a much larger scale was unveiled. The mall's north end would be demolished entirely, replaced by a new two-level California coastal designed wing of luxury shops, expanding this mall into one of the largest malls in Southern California and back to the top 10 largest malls in the United States, with the intention to stop the leaking in to gain market share from the more affluent shopping centers in West LA and Orange County. In conjunction with the renovation, Nordstrom's announced it would relocate its store from the South Bay Galleria in nearby Redondo Beach to Del Amo, anchoring the new wing. In late 2013, the mall housed 314 stores and services with 3 separate Macy's locations. To clear up the confusion and consolidate operations, Macy's announced that as of late 2014, the 3 stores would be merged into 2. The $200 million renovation of Del Amo Fashion Center was to be done in 3 phases. The first entailed a relocation of the existing food court southward into a space just north of the J.W. Robinson's Macy's Men's and Home. The 10-bay culinary complex, officially known as Patio Cafes, included Panda Express, Chipotle's, Sbarro's, Ginza Grill, and Blaze Pizza. These opened for business between December 2013 and May of 2014. After 18 months of construction, the northern part of the mall officially opened on October 9, 2015. A medical building on the north end of the property and the existing 1-story northern section were replaced with a 2-story fashion wing featuring a brighter and open beach elegance aesthetic to a more natural light and a mid-century modern look. The wing featured a mix of new-to-market retailers and holdovers from the former North End, including a Din Tai Fung restaurant, and luxury retailers Hugo Boss, Kate Spade New York, Michael Kors, Tumi, and Brooks Brothers. The south end of the property experienced minor renovations in line with the more elaborate north end changes, including signs delineating the wing Del Amo Shopping Center with a focus on general-purpose retail. In 2018, renovation plans were completed to replace a significant portion of the south end's inline retail space with Dave & Buster's and a relocated Marshall's store. Outback Steakhouse was displaced by construction on the south end, reopened in the outdoor village on July 7, 2018. As casualties of the COVID-19 pandemic-induced recession and California statewide closures, the prototypical Brio Tuscan Grill closed in mid-March, along with Guess, Me Undies, Innisfree, and New York & Company. On September 6, 2020, Sears closed after nearly 61 years of serving the South Bay. In January of 2022, LA Fitness Gym closed their doors. The Del Amo Fashion Center was also featured in Jackie Brown, Valley Girl, Why Him, and even Bad Santa. Congratulations, you made it this far into the video.
When I find you. Pop quiz, hotshot.
So let's see how close you were paying attention to my video. So how many anchor stores closed in this mall? So if your answer was 11, give yourself a hand. You're paying attention. Thanks for watching. So what are your favorite memories of this mall? Leave a comment below, and if you want to see your mall or a mall from your childhood in a future video, leave a suggestion. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button on your right. Thanks.